Hey everyone, welcome back to the Blanket Boy channel, and I lied to you. Well, I lied to you a while ago. You see, I made a video titled The Best 1/12 Scale Wonder Woman Figure, and that was a lie. Kind of. At the time of making that video, I was just super excited and hyped up of the kit bash that I made. But there was one glaring issue. It didn't look exactly right. The skin tone was too pale for the head, and that really threw it off. It was not perfect, as I stated before, but now, here we are today, looking at the best 1/12 scale Wonder Woman figure, and I don't think it can get any better than this. I don't think it can get much better than this, at least. To me, this is pretty perfect. This is what I wanted originally, and I'm glad I'm here now. So you're going to need a list of things to make this. Starting off, you're going to need the Mezco 1/12 scale Wonder Woman figure, obviously, for the armor and clothes and all that stuff and the accessories. Then you're going to need the TB League 01B body. That is the muscular suntan body. You can go with the paler version, and we'll get to why later. You're going to need the Noda Studios Wonder Woman head sculpt. It's just a bit more accurate and a bit darker like Gal is. You're going to need super glue. You're going to need an X-Acto knife, you're going to need a drill, and you're going to need makeup. That's right. I did this with makeup, and I decided to make this video right now to see if the makeup would hold up, and to my surprise, it did. It's not flaking off, and the body seems fine. So, yeah, as you can see, the skin is a lot darker, and here's the original Wonder Woman head from the Mezco going on, and in the last video, if you remember, the body was paler than that. So to see it all darker like this is true suntan. This is what I wanted to buy in the first place. So yeah, it doesn't work. Here's the Noda Studios head coming in. I don't know how readily available this will be as of filming this, but you know, I got there at a good time. And as you can see, it's not perfect. The Noda Studios head is still a little bit lighter because of the nature of the skin tone, because of the nature of the TB League body. But I think if you got the pale version, you'd have a bit more flexibility in getting that makeup on. Now, in terms of getting the makeup on, I used a little paintbrush, and I didn't really add that into the thing because I feel like most people can find a paintbrush. It's not super hard to find. I guess super glue and stuff isn't either, but I don't know. I do art, so I just had it lying around. It wasn't something I had to go get. I used my girlfriend's makeup, I'll put it up here, and she didn't have matte makeup, it was kind of sparkly, so I had to sort of rub off the sparkle bits later. I also used this Tamiya weathering kit, and it wasn't giving me exactly what I wanted. The skin color was way off, but it did sort of add a matte sheen to it, so that's an optional part. Here we go with the legs, and I think this is the most improved part from before, apart from the skin. So before, I just kind of put the shoes on, her heels. I just sort of put the heels on, and they were wobbly, and they didn't stand up very well, but it worked. It looked fine. And you can see how the skin has held up, I think, a couple months since I made that video. It still looks pretty good. There's no cracking, everything like that. But talking about the shoe and the connection between her heel and the body is the best part. So this little plastic piece you see in there is not from the original Mezco, and this is where the drill comes in. This little plastic piece is from the TB League body, and they come with 2 pairs of feet, and you can use an X-Acto knife, cut the feet around and take this little plastic piece out, then you drill a hole into the Mezco body, or you drill a hole into the Mezco heel, plop it in there, super glue it, and that is a strong, sturdy connection to the figure. I think it does limit articulation a little bit, but to me personally, this figure is more of a hot toy, so it's going to stand in a static pose instead of something super dynamic. If you want to go with something super dynamic, you should probably get the Mafex or the new SHF. But here I am showing off that it is pretty stable, and it just keeps the figure, it just gives the figure a bit more genuine feeling, like it's meant to be. I decided to make this video a lot later just to prove that the skin is holding up and it still looks alright, because I didn't want to make this video and have a few people do it and then for their figures to be ruined. I didn't want that, so I went with this, and I hope it's informative to people. Everything else from the previous video is still the same. From the Mezco figure, you're going to take the X-Acto knife and cut across the seam of the chest armor and take it off. That's probably one of the harder bits. And then for the skirt, you're going to want to do the same thing. Take an X-Acto knife, cut off the glue from the body, and slide that off. And here I'm showing that the skin, if you apply the makeup too harshly, it will peel up the TB League skin. I think it's silicone, so make sure you brush gently and delicately, and know that with water, I think you can take some of that makeup off. So that's just a warning for humid areas as well. There were a few times where I put too much makeup in a place and it was too dark, so I used a bit of water and a sponge and a paper towel, and I just dabbed it off, and it worked pretty well. But going back to the previous video, everything from that is still the same in terms of getting the armor from one body to another. And here you can see around the neck, I chose to make it a little bit more red because I had multiple shades of makeup. I just thought it would sort of connect the neck to the head better. And you know what? Overall, I'm really, really happy with this. I mean, this is the best Wonder Woman figure I could possibly make. And I feel bad. I feel bad I made that clickbaity title, and a lot of people just sort of seemed genuine about it. They enjoyed the video, but at the same time they said, you should change this. And when I put that out, I had already sort of made this version. So I've been sitting on this for a while, and I've been wanting to talk about it for a while, but I haven't been able to. And here I am showing off the skirt a little bit, because this part is the flakiest part from the original figure, as you probably know. So the optional thing that you can do here is get Tamiya navy blue paint and paint over it. That's what I did, and it seemed to have held up really well as well. You know, you can get any kind of blue paint that you want. If you like the more vibrant Wonder Woman figure, then get a more vibrant blue, obviously. But I sort of like the muted, darker tones of BVS and her own movie. And, you know, that's about it. I mean, I'm happy with how this turned out again, and I hope it's informative, and I hope that, you know, people sort of, you know, I hope that if you choose to make this or something like it, that it goes well. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, because I could probably help you out a little bit. But, you know, the fun is in creating, and I've been thinking and working on a lot of custom figures recently, and it's just more fun than just buying it, I think. It serves a creative outlet that I'm just glad I have the ability to do. Now, this isn't a cheap figure. With all the supplies and costs and everything, it's gonna get up there, and you might, maybe, possibly, depending on how expensive everything is, you might be better off buying a Hot Toys. But I'm a 1/12 collector. I enjoy it, and this is what I love to do. So I hope you like this video. Give it a like and subscribe. Help the channel out. I really appreciate the support. And with that, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.